expectations for inflation. We talked about the 10-year at the top. More discussion about what we might get out of infrastructure. And B of A, Jim, with this note this morning on CapEx. Savita Subramanian argues that finally it's going to be CapEx, not buybacks, that's going to get the love from corporate balance sheets, as they argue basically things are old, which is kind of a nice dovetail with what we think the White House is going to try to argue.
Well, you know, it's interesting. I mean, just to switch the actual what's old, what's not, there's an upgrade of American Airlines. And American Airlines, what is it? Jeffries is talking about how their younger fleet, they have 10.8 years versus 15 years. I mean, if I were Boeing, I would say, holy cow, you know what, things could be really unbelievable here because, and obviously they're speaking of Nucor when they talk about old. Nucor is a huge winner. The steel prices have gone up, up, up. There is just inflation. I've got Carvana on today. The inflation in used cars, because the chip shortage is amazing. So there is inflation kind of everywhere. We still don't have Texas back online yet. I mean, I think it's rather amazing that Texas is just Texas and Louisiana. Their big petrochemical plants are just really hurting. And a lot of that was, you remember, if you're ever a storm coming, you maybe tack on something to your windows, you know what to do. These guys were hit by Uri, and they didn't expect it. So I think what you're seeing is you can't get them back online very fast. Nucor's all systems go. I had them on last week, and they don't even they do not need infrastructure to make their quarters. They are just swimming in orders. So there's a lot that's good out there, but for the producers. But then you also have freight, Carl. Oh, my. Every time you hear anything involving retail, it's freight is bad, freight is bad, freight is bad. So I think that what you have to do if you're Jay Powell is to say, well, this is that spike I talked about. And once the spike is over, things will go back to normal. But there's a lot of spikes. It's like very porcupine.
Yeah. Yeah. Dallas Fed survey yesterday, Jim, some remarkable stats from firms, respondents in the survey. 61% of firms said they lost power. 37% said they lost water. 52 were forced to shut down. 52% forced to shut down for an average of almost 5 days. Now you got Musk tweeting about lack of cell supplies that will make ramping semis difficult. And you got Foxconn today, Jim, talking about potential material shortages, and that has some impact on Apple pre-market today.
Right, and that's why, I mean, I saw when Foxconn made a statement, Apple's just been dripping down. Tony Sacconaghi, no real, I don't want to call him a big champion at Apple. He's certainly not, but he comes out and says 6 to 9 months. Ooh, there's an ugly chart. 6 to 9 months before anything happens, no catalyst. You know, let me tell you how bad Texas is. Constellation. This is Modelo and Corona. There are people talking about how they're going to miss the quarter or the business is light because of Texas. Texas has not been talked about enough, and their Constellation Brands up. I think that's charitable. I do believe that Texas is an untold story. We got to get down there and figure out Texas, Louisiana, how much damage there really was. And it's like a quiet storm. All the chemical companies doing much better than expected because of the shortage. Lots of shortages.
Shepard Smith here. Thanks for watching CNBC on YouTube.